My 30mgf28f of almost 10 years has been cheating with a 50m former coworker for months. September of this year would have made 10 years with GF. We have been together since college. We are the only people we have each been with for more than a few months. The only people we had each slept with. We have grown into adults together. Experienced all life has to offer, both good and bad. Last March, right before Corona hit, we sold our house and moved from a small town in a rural state to the suburbs of a much more populated state outside a major city for a promotion I got. She was hesitant to go, but we wanted to have new life experiences and see what living in a more populated area had to offer, so we went for it. When COVID hit, she couldn't find a job for months. She finally did, but was not happy with it. Her mental health declined, as I was working 6 and 7 days a week as a manager for an essential business during the pandemic. At the start of November, she said she had a mental breakdown at work and couldn't go back for a while. She then left for 8 nights unannounced and did not communicate much at all. Said she was staying with her one good work friend, but there were other people with them doing drugs. They were working on getting another friend into rehab. I was shocked and worried because this was not like her at all. She comes back for a week. Tries going back to work and can't even make it a full day. Quits. At this point she's apologizing, saying she needs to focus on her mental health. She has to get through this on her own. Needs some time and space. Ends up getting her own place without telling me. Moves out most of her stuff. The whole time I'm trying to support her, be there for her, give her space, whatever she needs. She keeps apologizing. I knew something was going on. A month later, one of her former coworkers, FB, messages me a picture of her and this guy taking a selfie. Says she's sorry, but I needed to know. Says they have been seeing each other since September. The guy is married with kids and his wife had cancer not long ago. Says he's also a recovering addict who relapsed at the start of the year. She finally calls and confesses the next day after I messaged her about it. Says they're in love. Her a 28F is in love with a 50M recovering, maybe married drug addict. He treats her right and takes care of her in ways I don't. He is almost certainly manipulating her. I think this all stems from the passing of her father in 2018 from his own cancer battle. She has never grieved and processed any that trauma. She also has childhood trauma from her mother being a drug addict. Daddy issues, lots of trauma. Depression means she is an easy target for abuse and manipulation. We're obviously done for good, but I wanted to share my story because I feel that it is an unusual one and I am feeling alone in a place without friends or family to talk to right now. Update: I want to thank everyone for the support and kind words as well as the guidance. Most of you, even those younger, have more relationship experience than I do. Looking back, I have been enabling her and haven't seen it for so long. Many of you said this is just as much her fault as it is his, if not more. You are right. Mental illness, anxiety, depression are all valid, but don't make her actions okay. The coworker that contacted me said the wife and family know and are obviously very hurt. I am going to go for an STD test as well as seek therapy. Our lease was up after February, but the landlord had someone interested and said she would pay me back for the last month if I can leave, so I will be finding a new place ASAP. All password changed, joint accounts taken care of, credit was already frozen. I think I have everything covered as far as that goes. Last I knew, the not getting married question would come up. We have actually been engaged since 2016. Her father's cancer came back early 2017, and he died March 2018. She hasn't been in any headspace since to get married. We were planning again for 2020, but we moved and then COVID hit. I had my reservations about getting married before she fixed her mental health and anxiety issues, as well as her letting her physical fitness completely go downhill as well. I know now it wasn't ever going to get fixed with us together and me there for her. This is all a valuable experience and is for the best, as most of you have said. Thank you. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, it seems to me that when a partner starts talking about space to work on themselves, it means they're cheating. Op answer, I knew it was either cheating or a drug problem. Most likely ended up being both, unfortunately. Redditor 2, broken people attract other broken people. You were the last normal thing in her life until she spirals out of control and follows her family history. Very sad and traumatic for you, especially since it feels like 10 years wasted. Definitely keep her blocked for good, as her addictions may almost assuredly reaching out to you at some point. Op answer, I'm 100% sure she will try reaching out after he eventually leaves. It did feel like 10 years was wasted at first, but I want try to remember the good times we had and the experiences we shared. I wouldn't forget any of it if you could take it all away. The first half of the relationship was really good. I'm sure I would feel different if I was older, or we were married, or had kids, but I don't like to live thinking in what ifs. Redditor 3, sadly brother, your story isn't so rare. A lot of broken girls out there with daddy issues. Add the drinking and drugs, and the fact you don't have kids. There's nothing there to save, and hopefully you'll realize soon that you're better off to pass that problem off. Op answer, I've been trying for years to fix her and get her to see someone to work through her trauma. Her mental health has been a slow decline since she lost her father a few years ago. Not that it was great before that. I can't do it anymore with her. Update, my 30M GF28F of almost 10 years has been cheating with a 50M former coworker for months. Update, well, I just want to start by thanking everyone again for the replies and advice on my original post. I also want to let everyone know that you were pretty much all correct in the assumptions and how this would play out. After finding out the day after Christmas, I spent the next week going back and forth with my ex about different things, splitting phone plans, bank accounts, her taking the rest of her stuff, etc. I've wanted this to end, so I finally agreed to drive to their place so her and I could make a few calls to square some things away, and I could give her the rest of her stuff and take care of this mess once and for all. I get there and she comes to my car and stands there to make the first call we need to make. Goes through the phone menus to talk to someone and hangs up. I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Sorry," and calls again. Same thing, goes through phone menus, gets on hold this time and hangs up. I'm getting pissed at this point obviously, but she throws a folded up piece of paper quickly into my car before hanging up the second time and says, "Don't touch it, read it later, okay?" I say, "Yeah, but what about your stuff and the calls we need to make and everything?" She says, "Don't worry about it," and goes back inside. So I drive away and read the note immediately, and it's basically a few sentences saying her mother will be calling me, but do not text or call her for any reason, and it is very important that I do not contact her. So her mother calls me shortly after. Says my ex that morning called her and said she realized she's ducked up. The guy is up and down on drugs and controlling her every move. Tracking her phone and doesn't want her to leave the house. Trying to take her money and get as much as he can from her. Ex wouldn't say anything about physical abuse, but I'm sure there has been some. Her mother says she is going to get the police involved to get her out of there. My ex told her mother to ask if we could have a talk about everything. That she knows she's made a huge mistake and she will go to therapy, and do anything it takes for us to get back together. She has been trying to get away from the guy just to make this call for help to her mother for a while now, and Monday was the first chance she got, she said. So like the idiot I am, I agreed to meet her tonight in a parking lot at her friend's apartment complex. She told AP she was going there to be with her friend and he actually let her go. She was paranoid he would show up. He did not show up and we talked for an hour about how sorry she is, how she finally came out of the fog and realized how she's ruined her life and she's scared and stuck with this guy. Doesn't know what to do and has gone to the doctors and is getting therapy. Wants me to work on things with her while she goes to therapy so maybe we can get back the great life she now says she realizes we had. Scared to be alone while trying to fix herself without support. I stood firm on my boundaries with her, that this is all her fault, that she caused this, she's hurt me and I owe her nothing. It's still so hard because I want to believe her and we did have a good life for a long time. She seems sincere, of course, that she will get help and change, but I can't give in and trust her. It makes you feel like you're the bad one ending the relationship. I need to continue to respect myself and my boundaries and move on, but I also don't want her to be physically harmed. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, sheesh. Who knew consequences were a thing, right? It's so interesting to me the role it plays into most people realizing if their decisions were bad or not. I'm usually just a lurker here, but it seems like the difference between if someone regrets their decision or not is if the AP is good to them. Redditor follow-up, right, she would not contact him if AP was romantic and took care of her, she is only back because she realized the big mistake that is done. Redditor 2, at best, for her, she should be downgraded from long-term girlfriend to person that you know. You're probably better off to wish her the best and walk away. Redditor 3, you can help her get away from him but don't invest any more emotion in her. What she has done is unforgivable. If you chose, help her if you can, but then take a break. A long break. Months long. Let her get the help she needs if she truly means it. And live your life. Grieve and heal. Feel what it's like to be without her. And then truly decide if you want her back in it or not. This is just as traumatic for you as it was for her. You'll both will have scars from this, which means neither of you are capable of helping the other one heal from this. This is all predicated on you even wanting to invest any more emotion. It's completely your right to walk away right now if you desire.